I've talked about this many, many times with Eric Peters, the black boxes, the controls of your car. All this stuff about the autonomous car, that is so that they can take over control of your car, limit where you drive, limit when you can drive, and how much you can drive, and keep you confined to an area. And another step is now dropping in this. You've seen the EU doing outright bans of internal combustion engines. That is a great deal of that, and moving you over into the new, more computerized and even automated cars. That is a big part of the design. But as an interim step, they can start to control what you're doing even before they ban internal combustion engines. They can start to control more what you're doing by putting the black box in it. They've already started doing this for a number of years with truckers, but this is another level of it. All new cars sold in the EU will be fitted with data recording black boxes beginning this summer. So this is now arriving. And let me tell you, by the plan, 2030, is that you'll have no private cars, because this is a big loophole for them in terms of trying to lock us down, especially in America. They can control public transportation. They can control planes and trains and buses. But when it comes to cars, it's a bit more difficult for them. This is how they do it, by making them expensive, and then by gradually dunning you for the types of things that you're doing, tracking where you're going, and even being able to turn it off ultimately. At this stage, what they're going to introduce this summer will be a black box that will be recording everything that you do. It'll record the vehicle speed, its braking, its steering wheel angle, its incline on the road, whether the vehicle's various safety systems were in operation, starting with seatbelts. Now, they have started pushing this through in the EU through the insurance companies. They began, and you notice a pattern here, what they have done with vaccines. First, they put it out there, tell you how wonderful it is. And if you don't want to do it, then they offer you financial incentives to bribe you. Then they come in and they do it with a stick and mandates. And that's how this is rolling out. You've had, because insurance has gotten so expensive, especially for young drivers, and that's where they really want to have the impact. They don't want anybody getting used to the freedom that comes with a car. And so they've made it prohibitively expensive for young drivers to have insurance. And so I've reported in the past years how siblings would sometimes get together and work out how they could share the cost. You could get a discount on your insurance if you agreed to put a black box in your car that would track the number of miles that you drove. You see where they're headed, right? They're training them gradually. These are the training wheels for having no wheels. And so if you, so what the siblings would do is they could get a discount on insurance. So if they did a black box and they went in halves on it, for example, it would just barely be affordable for them. And then they'd have to worry about how they allocate the different miles between the two of them. But they would have to do that in order to even be able to afford it. Now they're just going to mandate it for everybody. So not just twisting the arms of people who don't have a lot of money, or twins, or siblings or whatever, but teens. They will mandate this for everybody. The new system will coincide with the introduction of intelligent speed assistance system, which will warn drivers when they breach their speed limit, but it won't stop the car from going any faster. Because they want to still be able to get tickets. Now, they're saying that this black box data will be fully accessible by the police, but that as of yet, they will not be sharing that information with the insurance companies. When they do share it with the insurance companies, that will be the way that they will price you out of the car. They will find some way to find fault with everything you do. We've seen this with the Amazon drivers who have a little black box that is second-guessing everything that they do. And some of the drivers have said, I get to a situation where there's a stop sign and I can't see because of trees or shrubbery or whatever, and I have to pull forward a little bit. Then it flags that as means not stopping in the right place, all these types of things. And you can expect that that's going to be happening. Now, as they are short employees, and we've seen this beginning all through 2020, as they started opening some of the restaurants up, a couple of restaurants went in and said, well, we're going to have robots deliver your food to your table, so you don't have to come in contact with a waiter or something like that, right? And they're going to go with the illusion that this was somehow not touched by human hands in the kitchen, hermetically sealed, and then brought to your table by a little robot cart, right? But of course, they're also working in the kitchen to make sure that they can replace people there just for labor costs. And now you got yet another article coming out of ABC talking about Silicon Valley, the San Francisco area, the Radisson and Sunnyvale. They say robots are filling in staffing shortages at some Bay Area hotels with no tips expected. And this whole thing, this puff piece from ABC News is so do you see a trend here, right? You want to have sex dolls, not a human partner. You want to have robots to cook and to deliver your food and to clean your room and all this sort of thing. Because, humans are just so expensive. They're so filthy. As a matter of fact, Travis Kalanick, who began Uber, was saying, that's our goal. That's really where we're headed. That's where we're going to become profitable. Because what makes our car expensive to rent by the ride is that other dude in the car. And I had a listener say, you need to, when you talk about these autonomous cars and stuff, you need to show Johnny Cab from Total Recall. I was like, yeah, I did that. I did that. I had to do it again. But I did that years ago when I was talking about that quote from Travis Kalanick. I said, you want to see the other dude in the car? It looks like a Johnny Cab. You don't want that other dude in the car necessarily. But you also don't want to live in a world where we become the Eloi. And that's exactly what they're trying to turn us into. You remember that from H.G. Wells' Time Machine? He goes forward in the future and he sees these, pink, cuddly, soft things. Oh, they're so nice and everything. And then the Morlocks come from underground and will take them away. I mean, they give them everything they want. They're pacified. They don't know how to do anything. They're totally helpless, but they're basically cattle and they're meat for these Morlocks. And that's exactly what these technocrats are. They're Morlocks. The common man. They created Common Core to dumb down our children. They created Common Pass to track and control us. Their Commons Project to make sure the commoners own nothing. And the communist future. They see the common man as simple, unsophisticated, ordinary. But each of us has worth and dignity created in the image of God. That is what we have in common. That is what they want to take away. Their most powerful weapons are isolation, deception, intimidation. They desire to know everything about us while they hide everything from us. It's time to turn that around and expose what they want to hide. Please share the information and links you'll find at thedavidknightshow.com. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing. If you can't support us financially, please keep us in your prayers. thedavidknightshow.com.